Saturday, October 11th, 2014, was the day my relationship with Ava took an absolute turn for the worse. It was also coincidentally my birthday, a day which should have been full of fun and excitement. Instead, I will forever remember that day as the moment when my ex Ava went from being the awesome / hot / kinky / fun to be around girlfriend of every heterosexual man's wet dreams to permanently transforming into the murderous Darth Vader alter ego that would come to terrorize my life. It was a fall to the dark side that might have been prevented had fate, or simple bad luck, not once again conspired to put me in the wrong place at the wrong time, causing me to unwittingly reawaken the Hulk inside of Ava that had been entirely subdued up until that point. At first glance, the morning of October 11th, 2014 didn't appear to be headed for disaster. The weather that day called for blue skies and sun, with a hint of Indian summer in the air and sparse clouds in the sky. But I suppose that's how all bad things usually start off. There's always that unsettling calm before the storm. Much in the same way 9/11 started off unassumingly, so too did that Saturday morning commence. The day kicked off with me being awoken around 9 a.m. with a kiss.
Good morning, sleepyhead. Or should I say, birthday boy?
I stirred in the small bed of Ava's apartment and readily opened my sleepy eyes to see my blonde hottie of a girlfriend standing at the bedside. She was dressed in a purple satin robe and cute puppy dog slippers, and she was completely sans any sort of makeup, leaving her natural beauty bare. In my opinion, Ava actually looked better without makeup on. Her mane of long, curly golden hair fell in elegant locks past her shoulders, radiating like a halo in the glare of the morning sunlight. From a certain angle, she had an almost angelic quality about her, a deceitful visage that gave little hint to the devil sleeping within. Her appearance was in stark contrast to the last time I woke up in Ava's bed to find her standing over me. Luckily for me, she wasn't armed with an AR-15 rifle this time, though she did have something far less threatening in her possession, a tray of steamy breakfast.
I cooked you a little something, birthday boy,
Ava said gleefully, carefully setting the tray on my lap. On the plate were 4 slices of crispy bacon, 2 gloriously cooked sunny-side-up eggs, buttered grits, toasted bread, 2 beefy pancakes, and a glass of orange juice. There were also several slices of a brown-colored, sausagey, bread-looking delicacy, which I had no idea what the hell that was. But boy, did it all look good. I rubbed away the last vestiges of sleep in my eyes, and slowly sat up in bed, staying very careful not to tip over the tray. What is this? I asked Ava curiously, pointing at the prior-mentioned brown thing.
That is what we Pennsylvania Dutch folk call scrapple. It has everything a growing boy like yourself needs.
In my groggy state, I thought she said something else. Scrabble? Ava giggled at my blunder.
No, babe, scrapple. You're thinking of the game. I grew up eating this. You might not like it, but I figured I'd make it for you so you could have a taste of some good old-fashioned Pennsylvania Dutch home-cooked eating.
I regarded my girlfriend warmly. It wasn't the first time Ava had cooked for me. Actually, she was one of those rare young women who knew how to cook, a trait difficult to find among women these days. She took great pleasure in whipping up a decent meal for me whenever we were together, cooking everything from steak to lasagna to complicated dishes I didn't dare attempt to make on my own. Not that I really had any aptitude for cooking to begin with. I was always more of a ramen noodles and microwavable hungry man dinners kind of guy, preferring the ease of ready-to-eat foods and the expense that came with eating out, since I was too lazy to learn the complicated nature of cooking. Plus, I hated the wait and preparation that went along with making your own food. When I was hungry, I wanted food right then and there. I'm sure some of you guys might agree. To have a girlfriend who not only knew how to cook but enjoyed making meals for me was a godsend, and Ava was one hell of a damn good cook. Everything she made came out so tasty and well seasoned, never too overcooked or too salty. She had a real knack for it. I sometimes wondered why she never studied to be a gourmet cook. Chef Ramsay would have loved her. Ava observed me curiously as I chowed down on the scrapple.
So, what do you think? You don't like it, do you?
No, I didn't say it was bad, Ava. It's, interesting? I guess I'm not used to it. What exactly is in this?
You're basically eating leftover pork scrap mixed with cornmeal and flour. It's the food we poor country people like to whip up since we're too broke to eat out at Olive Garden every weekend.
Hey, are you making fun of my dining out habits? I replied, grinning at her.
Yes, babe, I am. It's not healthy to eat out all the time, you know. Plus, it's so expensive. I really don't know how you do it. I know I couldn't do it. Why do you think I cook all of the time? It saves so much money, and it's better for you in the long run.
Hey, what can I say, Ava? It's a guy thing, and I'm a guy, so we don't really cook, I replied bashfully.
Uh-huh. See, that's why you need a decent woman in your life. Someone who can cook nice meals for you after a long day at work, tidy up the house, and wash your clothes. I know a lot of girls these days aren't into that housewife stuff, but I'm real traditional. I'd do those things for you, babe.
I dug more into the breakfast she made for me, savoring every bite, then commented, "Oh, Ava, you are such a gem." She smiled and affectionately ran her fingers through my hair, massaging my scalp with her acrylic nails.
I said I'd take care of my man, didn't I? Just don't ever fuck me over, or things might end badly for you. Okay, babe?
I instantly had a brief flashback to the last time Ava, or should I dare say Nicole, warned me about hurting her. The haunting recollection sent shivers down my spine.
Ugh!
Ava groaned a few seconds later and clutched her belly in discomfort, which now bore the subtle signs of a pregnancy in its third month. Are you all right? I inquired quickly, extending a helping hand. Ava sparkled.
I think I just felt Nicole kick for the first time. Here, feel.
She seized my hand and placed it upon her belly. Sure enough, I felt movement from within. A faint smile widened my lips, but behind that smile lingered uneasiness over the prospect that I would soon become a father. I remember thinking at the time just how unprepared I was for parenthood, and wondering how me and Ava were going to financially cope with raising a child together. Despite being a software programmer, I didn't really make a whole lot of money at my job. That was one of the many pitfalls of living in Pennsylvania as opposed to a more higher-paying metropolis such as New York or Silicon Valley. I barely made enough money to take care of myself, much less a kid on top of it. Becoming a dad was going to strain me financially for sure. Again, that's the price I pay for not wrapping it before tapping it with Ava. I could have been one of those deadbeat guys who wanted nothing to do with their kid. A lesser man or a bad boy Chad type might have ditched Ava to the curb and disappeared altogether, condemning her to live with the social stigma of being a single baby mama. But I wasn't that kind of guy. I had made my mind up from the very beginning to just deal with the responsibility of bringing a kid into the world, even if that meant that I was going to go broke. To that end, me and Ava had plans to get an apartment and move in together once our baby was born. Yeah, talk about things happening fast. As if having a kid with Ava wasn't crazy enough, now there was the very real possibility that I'd be living under the same roof with her come Christmas. Now, you all might be wondering, why in the hell would I want to live with a psycho chick who nearly blew my head off with an AR-15? Wouldn't I be scared for my life not knowing when or if she'd ever turn batshit crazy and possibly murder me in my sleep? Well, to answer your question, yes. The idea of living together did freak me out. Initially. I say initially because, as impossible as this is to believe, Ava hadn't acted at all crazy since we reconciled a month ago during that whole drama in the Carmike movie theater bathroom. True to her word, Ava had continued taking her medication and seeing her psychiatrist regularly, thus keeping the craziness of Nicole at bay. If anything, That intermission month between the Carmike encounter and my birthday was probably the best month of my life. And I don't say that exaggeratingly. Seriously, to this day, I often find myself scrolling through the many pictures I took on my phone during that period and fondly thinking back on the awesome memories Ava and I created that month. We did everything together. Everything I had ever wanted to do with a girl but never got the opportunity. And Ava had been more than eager, even willing, to help me realize the full extent of my bucket list, going so far as to plan out events and take time off of work to share those experiences with me. Remember how I said Ava could be the best girlfriend a guy could ask for? Well, this is what I meant. Not only was she smoking hot in the looks department and an insatiable freak in bed, but she also cooked for me, washed my clothes, vacuumed my apartment, and gave me frequent back rubs, despite me insisting none of it was necessary. On top of that, she enjoyed going out and just doing fun things with me. One past weekend, when we were both cuddling on the couch of my living room, eating Chinese takeout and watching season 1 of The Walking Dead on Netflix, Ava even asked me,
"What else is on your bucket list, babe?" Like, I want to go skydiving and see the Grand Canyon one day, go on a Caribbean cruise. There's so much I want to do, but never had a man I wanted to do it with. Now I do. So, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? I guess we should probably squeeze in what we can before you-know-who pops out in a few months.
I observed Ava's pregnancy and said, I agree. We won't have time to do anything once she's born. Which I still think it's gonna be a he, by the way. Ava poked me teasingly.
Oh, so we're having this conversation again? I know for a fact that it's a girl. Mother's instinct is always right.
Hey, how come there's a mother's instinct and not a father's instinct? That's some sexism BS right there. Technically, men are the ones who decide the gender anyway. Ava considered this for a moment and said,
I guess mothers know these things since we're the ones stuck carrying them in our gut for 9 months.
I replied, well, I guess we won't really know till the time comes, won't we? But about the bucket list, I guess we could, well, we already crossed attend my first concert off, didn't we? Ava said.
By no means does that mean we can't ever go to another one again, because concerts are really fun. We should totally see an Evanescence concert whenever they're performing again. But I think they're on a break now or something, so that might have to wait. There's so much else we can do in the meantime. Like, let's pick out ideas from our bucket lists and just do it, you know what I mean? Carpe diem.
So that's what we ended up doing. That month, we went horseback riding in the Pocono Mountains and hiked the trails of Glenanoco Falls and Jim Thorpe. The weekend prior, we even visited D.C. and strolled hand in hand along the boardwalk of Ocean City, Maryland, where we also partook in an evening of parasailing up the coast. God, that was so much fun. I didn't think it was possible to do so much stuff in 1 month, but we somehow managed it. And yes, we both shared in the expenses of the trips. Ava never allowed me to pay for everything myself, and we always took turns driving. See? Not a bad girlfriend, right? As I said before, Ava really was a great GF, as long as she stayed on her meds. So was I afraid of living with her in the same house? Initially, yes. Despite her apologies for the Nicole AR-15 incident, I never forgot that night, and honestly I don't think I ever will. But considering all the good things Ava did for me since then to make up for it, and the fact that I never encountered her evil half again since that frightful encounter, I suppose my fear eroded over time. I allowed myself to fall into a false sense of security by thinking this gravy train honeymoon period of our relationship was going to last forever. But you all know the old saying, nothing lasts forever. I couldn't have known then that my birthday of all days was going to be the day the gravy train finally reached the end of the track, crashing in spectacular fashion. How could I have known, especially considering how well that morning started?
Enjoy your breakfast in bed, birthday boy. I'll be downstairs getting ready. Don't forget, we're supposed to be there by 10:30.
You know, you still haven't told me who you're going dressed up as, I noted curiously. Ava flashed me one of her cheeky grins.
It's a surprise.
Ooh, I like surprises, I replied with an air of intrigue. Can I get a hint? Just one, please?
Oh no! I am not spoiling it. It wouldn't be a surprise if I told you now, would it? You'll just have to come downstairs and find out. See you in a bit.
We locked lips, and Ava promptly retreated afterwards, leaving me alone to ponder the particular character she was going dressed up as for the Geeks and Gamers New York Comic-Con meetup that was happening later that day. For those of you not familiar with Comic-Con, it's basically a large convention where comic book and film fanatics gather together while dressed up as their favorite fictional characters. Oftentimes, you could find famous movie actors, comic book artists, and TV show writers handing out autographs, answering Q&A sessions, as well as taking photos with their fans. Comic-Con was the perfect place for a geek like me to celebrate my birthday. The only problem was that the event happened to be located in New York City, an almost 3-hour drive from where we were in Pennsylvania. The good news was that the Geeks and Gamers group had organized a rental van for the day. They had offered to drive everyone up as long as those in attendance chipped in for gas and whatnot. Seeing how it wasn't a bad deal, Ava and I decided to take them up on the offer. We were to meet the meetup group around 10:30 a.m. in the parking lot of the local Carmike movie theater. Yes, the same theater where me and Ava first met earlier that summer. It was also the same theater where she had her way with me in the bathroom. Yeah, I definitely have a lot of memories about that particular movie theater. Who knew going to the movies could be so interesting?
You coming down at all, babe?
Ava called to me from the bottom of the stairs after some time had passed. Eating too slowly for my own good, I told her I'd be right there and wolfed down the last remnants of my breakfast, fully satisfied with Ava's cooking. Slipping out of bed, I went into the bathroom and quickly dressed into my Comic-Con costume. Luke Skywalker's cloak and Jedi robes from Star Wars Return of the Jedi. I even had a prop lightsaber to go along with it. Yeah, I'm a big Star Wars nerd if you couldn't already tell. Don't judge me. Once I was satisfied with my appearance, I made my way from the bedroom and into the modest hallway of Ava's home. Remember that rundown house I picked her up at during our first date? Well, she still lived in that same rundown, 2-story duplex, despite saying that she was working on moving out. Something about having her application for a new place denied because of bad credit or something. I don't remember the exact reason. Again, I wasn't the type to judge a person because of their financial difficulty. We all have our ups and downs, I suppose. Despite not being the best-looking house on the outside, Ava took great care to keep the interior of her home as welcoming as possible. Although she wasn't a neat freak by any means, it was clear Ava maintained a certain prettiness to everything in her life. Not only did she carry herself like a goddess out in public, but her desire to look good apparently extended to her home life as well. Her carpets were well vacuumed and shampooed, covering up any hints of musty odor that might have lingered from the previous tenants. The walls were all recently painted, with each room of her house decorated in colors that suited her tastes. Cheap but presentable furniture was present throughout, which included a comfy living room sofa and an entertainment center for her small television. There was a dining room set and some chairs, as well as all of the bedroom, bathroom, and kitchen necessities a single woman like herself needed. She even had an impressive PC gaming rig set up in her bedroom, which she apparently built herself. She didn't have much in the way of family photos, though. Actually, she didn't have any pictures of people from her life, except for some topless celebrity posters of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and a few recent photographs of me and her together. Considering the crappy upbringing she endured, I didn't find it at all surprising that she had no pictures of her family anywhere.
Daniel, you, our baby, and Nicole are my family,
Ava once told me. Perhaps the only thing odd about Ava's house was the fact that, despite living by herself, there was one extra room upstairs that looked as if someone else lived in there too. It was the only room in the house whose door always remained closed for some strange reason. And that wasn't the only weird thing. The door to this particular room was painted all black, and it had an eerie drawing of a horned goat skull with a pentagram star etched on the exterior, as if some emo goth chick or a Satanist lived in there. It was really creepy. When I once asked Ava why she never showed me the inside of this particular room, She made me promise that I would never go in there.
Oh, that's Nicole's room. Do me a favor, babe. Whatever you do, swear to me that you'll never go in there. She doesn't like people messing around with her stuff. She's real bitchy like that. She might try and hurt you if you touch her things. Hell, she doesn't even let me go in there, and I'm her sister.
By now, I guess I was used to hearing such crazy talk coming from Ava. I, of course, promised her that I would never go poking around inside Nicole's bedroom. I was just too much of a wimp to push my luck with the AR-15 wielding cray-cray girl. Besides, we all know curiosity killed the cat. I eventually made my way down to the first floor living room, where I found Ava adding the finishing touches to her Comic-Con getup. She was, to my surprise, going dressed up as Harley Quinn from the Batman franchise. Now mind you, this was 2014, so her outfit didn't resemble the Margot Robbie Daddy's Little Monster Suicide Squad version, a movie that wouldn't be released until 2 years later. Instead, Ava's look more resembled the classic Harley Quinn of the 90s Batman animated TV show, in which the character had on a red and black jester costume and makeup. Ava wore pretty much the same outfit, complete with a cap and bells hat, a red and white baseball bat, and 6-inch platform stilettos which boosted her height to the point that she towered over me somewhat. Even her makeup was on point, though Ava had taken some creative liberty with her costume by adding a bleeding Glasgow smile effect to her face, which gave her a sort of Heath Ledger Joker look. It was really disturbing, yet very impressive at the same time. Looking back, though, her choice to dress up as Harley Quinn was quite fitting, since Ava and Harley were both beautiful blondes who were batshit crazy.
Surprise!
Ava greeted me. Then, in an imitation of Harley Quinn's voice, she continued with,
Am I hot stuff or what, Mr. J?
Holy crap, I remarked. That is awesome. Ava melted under my compliment.
Oh, you like, Mr. J? I thought you would.
Hell yes, I like. That makeup really looks good on you, Ava. Harley Quinn, huh? Damn. If you told me earlier, I probably would have gone as the Joker.
You know, in a way, you kinda are.
How? I asked her, baffled. I'm going as Luke.
Babe, Mark Hamill voices the Joker in the cartoons.
Surprised, I said. Wait, what? He does? I honestly didn't know that at the time.
Yeah. Oh my god. I can't believe you didn't know he played the Joker this whole time. He even voices him in Arkham Asylum. You know, the game you said is the best Batman game of all time. I still think the second one is better, but that's just me.
Not that I didn't believe her, but I just had to double check. Pulling out my iPhone, I googled the voice cast for the Joker, and sure enough, Mark Hamill's name appeared in the credits. No kidding. Luke Skywalker is the Joker? I feel like a total dumbass for not knowing that. Ava grinned beneath her clown makeup.
You're not a dumbass, babe. It just means that I'm more nerdy than you. It works out, though. I could put some makeup on you if you want. That way you could go as Luke Joke Walker. Want to give it a try?
I laughed at the suggestion, but politely declined. I'm good, babe. Glancing at the time, I then said, we should probably get going unless we want to find ourselves walking to New York. Ava agreed with me, and a few minutes later we were in my car speeding through unusual morning traffic on our way to the Carmike. Driving too fast for comfort, I ended up getting pulled over on my birthday of all days. Luckily, the state trooper was real chill about it, and he let me off with a warning when he saw it was my birthday. Ava also flattered him with her feminine wiles and impressive Harley Quinn makeup, factors that might have also helped my case too. My run-in with the Popo did cost us precious time, however, and as a result, we arrived at the Carmike much later than 10:30. I instantly assumed the meetup group had left for New York without us. Bummer, I think we missed them, I said. Still imitating Harley Quinn, Ava replied.
Have no fear, Mr. J. I think that's our gang right over there.
I followed her pointed finger towards one end of the parking lot, and sure enough, my eyes quickly detected a small group of costumed young people crowded around two white passenger vans, It was a medium-sized crowd from what I could tell, probably around 13 people or so. It made sense why they had 2 vans instead of 1. Relieved to see we weren't late after all, I pulled up alongside the group and parked in an empty space. Scanning the faces of those present, I quickly recognized the group organizer Mark and a few other geeks and gamers I had become friends with over the summer. I also picked out a newcomer I had never seen at any of the events before. She had the look of a spirited young 20-something brunette of petite stature, medium breasts, and cute looks, though she was nowhere near as stunning as Ava. Still, she was a decent looker though, but what really caught my attention was her outfit. Coincidentally, she was dressed up as Princess Leia from A New Hope, and she even had her hair fashioned in the same intricate buns Carrie Fisher had sported in that movie. "Oh wow, it's Princess Leia," I remarked. Ava gave the brunette a long look over and said,
She's got a cute ass, but mine is better. I love the Leia buns. She really pulls it off. I couldn't do my hair like that. No way. It's funny that you two are dressed up as Luke and Leia. I'm kind of jealous we're not going as a matching pair.
I acknowledged the coincidence and said, maybe I should have come as the Joker after all.
I did offer to do your makeup, babe.
Internally, I reprimanded myself for not taking Ava up on her offer. Out loud, I muttered, now I feel bad. She didn't take it too hard, though.
It's all good, Mr. J. You're still the Joker to my Holly.
Her words cheered me up, and I rewarded her with a kiss. Afterwards, we got out and began walking towards the group. Ava's stilettos clacked with every step. The sight of Luke Skywalker walking hand in hand with a taller version of Harley Quinn must have struck an unusual sight to those present, evident by the shoulder nudges and raised eyebrows of some of the people there. When the Princess Leia chick saw us, her chestnut eyes fluttered in surprise.
"Aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper?"
she said to me by way of greeting, doing her best to imitate Princess Leia's lines from A New Hope. Her voice was, how do I describe it? Cute? Affectionate? Full of witty fragrance? I got butterflies in my stomach just looking at her. In response, I said the first thing that came to mind. "Huh? Oh, the uniform. I'm Luke Skywalker, I'm here to rescue you." A dumb comeback, I know, but hey, it was Comic-Con. I was allowed to be a geek. She obviously liked what I said, evident by how she cracked up in laughter.
Your costume is really rad, dude. I'm digging it. And yours too, girlfriend. You got the whole Heath Ledger thing going and everything.
Ava merely smiled but didn't say anything back. She just had this weird expression on her face. It was a look of stony jealousy or something. I don't know how to describe it. Wait, was she actually angry that I was talking to another woman? That's what it honestly felt like. The Leia chick then said to me,
"Why'd you dress up as Luke and not the Joker? Throw in a cheap purple suit and makeup and y'all would have matched perfectly."
Ava finally said something, her tone emanating in a low whisper.
That's what I said.
Recalling what I had just learned earlier that morning, I regarded the Leia chick and said, "Well, technically Mark Hamill is the Joker in the cartoons, so if you think about it..." The Leia chick threw back her head and grinned.
True dat.
I followed up with, "Okay, so can I ask you something? Why Leia and not Padme?" The Leia chick shrugged her shoulders.
Meh, Padme is just alright. I have a love-hate relationship with her. Padme is just too wooden. She's not as interesting a character as Leia in my opinion. You can tell Lucas didn't give her a whole lot of thought. And I still can't figure out for the life of me what she saw in Anakin. Hayden Christensen is cute and all, but his guy game in Clones was garbage. Leo DiCaprio would have made a much better Anakin.
Word, I agreed. The Leia chick then extended her hand to me and said,
"Today, you can call me Leia for the sake of Comic-Con, but my real name is Javanni."
Her name was unique, interesting. It had a nice ring to it.
I hope we're not long-lost siblings in real life.
As a courtesy, I reached out and shook her hand. I mean, there was nothing wrong with doing that, right? That's what people normally did when introducing themselves to someone new, correct? A handshake was the most harmless thing in the world, wasn't it? Ava obviously didn't think so, and she made her disdain very clear.
Hey, keep your hands off my boyfriend. He's mine.
Javanni backed away slightly, perturbed by Ava's remark.
Whoa, cool it, girlfriend. I meant nothing by it. Just being social, that's all. Isn't that what meetup is for?
Ava snapped.
Listen, take your Leia buns and your dress and go be social with another man.
The exchange shocked the hell out of me. This was a side of Ava I had never seen before. I had no idea she was the clingy/possessive type. Javanni made a motion to leave.
Okay, look. I think I'm gonna go ride in the other van. See ya.
And she got the heck out of there quickly, scared off by Ava, and I don't blame her. Yo, what the hell was that for? I scolded my girlfriend angrily. With extreme paranoia, Ava said,
She was hitting on you. I could see it in her eyes. She likes you. She wants to take you away from me just like that bitch Lori did with the last good man I dated. That's why I had Nicole hurt her.
What the hell are you talking about, Ava? What's wrong with you? We were just talking. She seems cool enough. Ava's blue eyes stained with a certain darkness.
I don't want you talking to her again. She's a viper.
I regarded Ava firmly. Should we leave? You're starting to really get under my skin right now, on my birthday of all days. If this is going to be a problem, I'll get back in my car. Ava's tone brightened, and she sounded as if everything was cool again all of a sudden.
No, it's not a problem, babe. I'm sorry. I guess I'm just PMSing.
At the time, I thought, wait, do women PMS during pregnancy? I'm clearly not a woman, so I wasn't sure if that was a thing or not. I simply accepted that as what it was, writing off Ava's outburst to female hormones. Okay, look, Ava, just don't do it again, I warned her. You scared the girl off, for Christ's sake. Ava again apologized, and I forgave her. Stupid of me, I know. Soon afterwards, we loaded up into one of the 2 rented vans for the ride up to the Big Apple. For obvious reasons, Javanni didn't ride with me and Ava, which I felt really bad about. She really did seem like an awesome chick, and I kinda would have loved to have gotten to know her more. I only hope she was upset at Ava and not me. Aside from annoying city traffic, the drive to New York went smoothly, and we made it to Comic-Con just in time. Stepping out of the van, I remember being wowed by all of the people in attendance, admiring the many anime cosplays I saw. Ava got her fair share of compliments for her spot-on Harley Quinn impression, with several people even taking selfies with her. We spent the next few hours browsing the different vendors, sitting in on some Q&A sessions, and getting autographs. I even got a signed picture with a certain Walking Dead actor. I won't name who. Let's just say that signed memorabilia occupies a special place in my living room to this day. At one point during the event, Ava excused herself to go to the bathroom, leaving me alone for a time. Being the big boy that I was, I thought nothing of it and occupied myself at a table that was selling old Star Wars comics.
Your girlfriend's a real bitch. Just wanted to say that. I kind of feel sorry for you, dude.
I turned around and saw Javanni. Curiously enough, she was smiling at me.
Where'd Miss Clingy run off to?
I returned her smile, and speaking honestly, I said, bathroom. Hey look, Javanni, I'm real sorry about what happened back there. I've never seen her act that way before. Javanni didn't appear to take it personally.
It's cool, dude. I've dated guys like her before, and let me tell you, they are nothing but trouble. Just a heads up. Anyway, no hard feelings. Yeah?
Thanks. I appreciate it. By the way, my name is Daniel, since we were interrupted last time.
Whew. For a while there, I thought you were gonna say your name was Javan. Get it? Javan and Javanni. Like Luke and Leia? Glad we're not related.
I chuckled at her humor. Javanni looked left and right and joked.
Quick, let's shake hands again before Harley Quinn comes back with her bat.
And shook hands we did. I'm not gonna lie. When our palms touched, I instantly got tingly inside.
What the flying fuck?
Came my girlfriend's menacing roar. I swear Ava came out of nowhere.
I told you already. Hands off my boyfriend, you bitch.
Swoosh. That was the sound of Ava's baseball bat swinging towards Javanni. Javanni must have had fast reflexes because she ducked at the last possible microsecond and barely avoided Ava's bat by a fraction of an inch. Had she not ducked when she did, the bat might have connected with her face and undoubtedly left her with a broken jaw. Or worse. Javanni recovered quickly and yelled,
"Yo, you psycho! What's your problem?"
Ava growled.
You're my problem, you boyfriend-stealing whore.
Before I could do anything to intervene, before I could do anything to stop the madness, Ava raised her baseball bat and made another threatening move towards Javanni. But Javanni threw herself at my girlfriend in self-defense, grabbing Ava by the wrists and struggling to get the bat from her. Seconds later, Princess Leia and Harley Quinn were duking it out in a vicious catfight, right there in the middle of Comic-Con of all places, throwing punches and pulling each other's hair and hurling offensive profanities at one another. There was blood everywhere. I couldn't believe what I was witnessing. It was like something out of a dream, or perhaps more appropriately, a nightmare. Acting fast, I rushed to pull Ava off of Javanni. "Ava, stop this!" I shouted. She struggled in my grip, screaming like a madwoman. It literally took every ounce of strength for me to keep her from going after Javanni again. Battered and bleeding, Javanni screamed,
"You crazy bitch! I'm pressing charges on your ass."
Ava responded with more threats of violence.
Do it, bitch. Call the cops on me and I'll sick Nicole on you. I'll have her blow your head off. I'll fucking kill you for touching my man.
Her threat to shoot Javanni was unsettling, but thankfully we were in New York, a state with ultra-strict gun laws. As a result, Ava had left her Glock 19 at home. It was a good thing she did because I shudder to think how much worse that fight might have gone down had Ava been armed that day. In the blink of an eye, security guards were at the scene and they managed to put an end to the situation. Multiple eyewitnesses came forward to label Ava as the aggressor, and as a result, we were both escorted out of the venue and threatened with arrest if we ever came back. Why I was being punished as well when I had nothing to do with it was beyond me. Oh, and as a last final insulting icing atop my birthday cake, we were both banned from the Geeks and Gamers meetup group indefinitely. That meant Ava and I had to find our own way back home, since Mark refused to give us a ride. Yeah, I was pissed. That was not my most memorable birthday experience. Stranded in New York City with no car, Ava and I had no choice but to hail an expensive taxi ride back to PA. Returning to the Carmike sometime after dark, I drove Ava back to her house without saying another word to her. It was an awkward car drive for sure, but I was understandably angry at her for ruining my birthday.
Dan, can we please talk?
Ava begged me as I pulled up outside her house. "I don't want to talk right now, Ava," I told her firmly, gritting my teeth in anger. "Please go."
Dan.
I raised my voice this time, something I rarely ever did. "Please, Ava, just go. You've already ruined my birthday enough." Reluctantly, she acquiesced and left. Later that night, I got a text from her saying she was sorry and how much she loved me, but I ignored her. The very next day, after cooling down and talking it over with some guy friends, I texted Ava back with this message. "I can't do this anymore, Ava. Yesterday was the final straw for me. I'll help you when it comes time to raise our kid, but I'm done being your boyfriend. I hope you can understand." Little did I know, that simple text message would set my entire life ablaze, destroying everything in its path.